Hi! If you're looking for another spooky and funny podcast to add to your rotation, check out Anything Bones, now part of the Podmoth Network.
Hey Boneheads, I'm Sophie Schwartz.
And I'm Caitlin Hart.
And we're the hosts of Anything Bones, the podcast where we talk about bones and bone-related topics.
Soph, what are bone-related topics?
Thank you for asking, Caitlin. This can be anything from mausoleums to murderers, famous skeletons to cadaver dogs.
Bone churches, mummies, serial killers. You'll hear about them all.
And sometimes we have guests stop by and tell us their favorite bony tales.
Check out Anything Bones on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or wherever your little heart desires.
We release new episodes every Saturday.
Bon voyage!
Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
The following podcast discusses adult situations and gets very sweary. Sensitive ears beware.
You know what? Fuck it. Fuck my whole life.
You're listening to Fuck My Whole Life, brought to you by Fuck My Work Life, a podcast within a podcast where we venture outside of the workplace to bring you stories of mishaps and shenanigans from all aspects of life. Because if we can't laugh at ourselves, what are we even doing? Welcome back, fuckers, to the Fuck My Work Life / Fuck My Whole Life podcast. I'm Kay.
I'm Jay.
And tonight we have some special guests. We've got returning guest, Matt, and he's bringing his partner in crime, Adam, from the Decaying with the Boys podcast. Welcome, Adam and Matt.
Thanks for having us. It's so much fun to be back.
I'm glad to be here for my first time.
Yeah.
You're kind of making the rounds, Adam.
Boys.
I am. Matt keeps booking me on all of the quote unquote brain trust podcasts.
I am his special counsel.
Yeah.
I am his Paul Heyman. I'm trying to make sure I proliferate him out there to because you can't be denied. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I got to get you out there.
I have to join X now, right? To be in the brain trust.
Yeah.
I'm not active on there.
I don't think a lot of people are anymore. Everyone kind of ran away.
Just Elon Musk.
Yeah. I go there, I post our latest episode, and then I run away very fast.
Yeah. Well, if you guys got married, you could just let Matt take care of it like I do with Kay.
Oh, yeah.
I don't do none of that shit.
And you can only do that if
Basically
you're
are.
married.
We're totally married.
It's definitely like civil law. I'm married.
Yeah, we're definitely close enough without paperwork. Yeah.
There you go. Common law. Yeah.
Or common law, not civil law. I'm not suing you.
Yet. Oh, yes, there goes.
So before we get into just the stories and shooting the shit, you guys are the beer guys. So we got to do, we drink because we work. So we'll start with you guys. What are you drinking?
So, Adam, if you want to, man.
No, go
Oh,
with that
yeah.
one
So
too.
I decided to shout out to Bobby Nacho, a.k.a. Jim Simmons. He is one of the head brewers over at Iron City Beer here in Pittsburgh, one of the premier staple beers in the entire still city of Pittsburgh. And I have a man can here of Iron City Beer. It's the fully flavored version of it. It's not icy light. It is the legit Iron City Beer. And I have this banging 24-ounce can. So
It's a giant can.
Thing. It is. It's as big as my face. You can kind of see it. It's like...
And then I have a Koinstringser Schwartz beer from Germany. It's brewed under the Germany purity laws, and it is their number one Schwartz beer, which is just German for black lager. So,
I want to get back to the Germany brewing laws after we say what we're drinking.
Oh, absolutely.
That sounds interesting. What are you drinking, Jay?
Because we were going to be on with you guys today, I went into the liquor store and I was like, I'm going to fucking get some fancy shit. And then
and now we're drinking basic.
A 4-pack was like $18. And I was like, fuck that shit. It's $11.99 for a 12-pack of good old Coors Light.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I am drinking the good Colorado Kool-Aid Coors Latte. Coors Light.
Coors Light.
I love it.
I'm breaking the rules. I'm staying away from beer tonight, and I'm drinking a nice tall tumbler of a Tom Collins. So,
Nothing wrong with Tom Collins.
There's nothing wrong with
Nothing
that.
wrong with Tom Collins.
oh man, I never liked gin before, and in the past 2 years, I've just become obsessed with gin.
What's
It's
your
so good?
What's your favorite gin? Because I have mine. What's your go-to?
I love Botanist.
Yeah, nice, good stuff.
It's a good
Yeah.
one.
I'm a Beefeater guy.
I haven't
like
tried
good
that one.
Beefeater gin.
We've never drinking gin together.
No, we haven't.
I'm also a Beefeater guy.
Yeah, I'm a Beefeater gin guy.
I only drink
I'll
it at
have to
Christmas
try
time.
it.
I eat beef.
Yeah, Jay eats beef.
There you go. You're halfway there.
I do love me some good beef.
Heyo. All right. So what are German? What did you say? German purity laws in brewing?
Yeah, so the German purity laws, it's I'm going to try my best German here. It's the Reinheitsgebot laws. Say that beer can only be brewed with 4 ingredients, and that is barley, water, yeast, and hops. So anything outside of that is considered an adjunct, all the way out to like corn and rice, which are popular in American lagers,
Yeah.
are technically against the German purity laws. It has to be barley or wheat.
Yeah.
I think, wheat's acceptable because Hefeweizen.
Yeah.
But that's it. So it's basically barley, wheat, water, hops, yeast.
Which is
That's
why
it.
if you go to Oktoberfest, you bring like a hazy IPA, they'll try to burn you at the stake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can brew anything. I mean, back in the day, you couldn't brew anything like that in Germany.
Yeah.
I think it might still be the
Probably.
same. I still have to get out to Germany to find out.
Well, breaking news, we have plane tickets. No, we don't.
You guys got to get out there, man. It's not that long of a flight for you guys, right?
I don't think so.
No, it's not too bad.
I'm just going to say something right now,
Uh-oh.
and this might be out of line.
Do it.
But does anybody else think that Germans should probably just let go of the whole purity thing? Like,
I don't.
No, I mean,
No.
honestly,
now it's beers. It was some other things
Well,
in the past. Now it's beer.
I think they can
Like,
hold on
maybe-
to for beers because it really is the history of at least it's an oxymoron, but the modern history of beers, like not the super historical, because like historically beer was brewed in Egypt first, but like Germany perfected it, and arguably no other country has done it better, in my opinion, than what the styles Germany started.
except for Australia, Foster's is so fucking good. It's just like Australia.
Foster's.
Yeah. I love it.
I'd rather drink red straight from Jamaica.
You suck
Yeah,
at that.
but
So-
have you had Kingfisher from India?
Whoa.
I mean, come
don't think
on.
I've had that.
So we have had beer from Nigeria.
Ooh.
We did have that
Yeah,
from
that
Two
was good.
Phrase. So we had Nigerian beer, and it was absolutely delicious. A lot of flavor behind that, a lot of passion and care that goes into that beer. So when they brought it to a brewery here in Pittsburgh, we were one of the first breweries in all of America to brew a Nigerian-focused recipe in a place called Two Phrase. It ended up being one of their top-selling beers.
Yeah.
It was so delicious.
Yeah, and the big difference between that and like your typical beer was instead of barley, wheat, corn, rice, it was brewed with sorghum. Was the main malt and sugar ingredient. It was interesting. It was good. It
It really
good.
was, yeah. And shout out to First Sip Studios for really hooking that up. You know, shout out to those guys. They're friends of ours.
I have had Indian beer, but not that specific one.
Can you still get the Nigerian beer out there, or was it just like a special?
Nah, it was a
one-time thing?
one-off a few
Yeah.
years ago.
It's a
I don't
one-off.
think they've made it again yet.
No, not yet. But I know that there's some hints and tips and rumors they're going to bring it back, and I hope that they do because, I mean,
You just went Jiminy Glick on us.
I did. It's been a while since I've gone Jiminy Glick on this podcast, but yeah, I mean they're trying to bring it back eventually, but you know, you're trying to kind of bring that from Nigeria, you're trying to talk about a lot of moving pieces. So, I mean, I hope it happens sooner rather than later because it was delicious. And Two Phrase is one of the best breweries here in Pittsburgh.
So I was being sarcastic about Kingfisher because you guys were bringing up Red Stripe. Kingfisher is known in India like it's the best selling beer there, especially to tourists. But it tastes. I've heard that it tastes really good, but the next day it feels like the back of your head has been blown out.
Yeah, a lot of sugar.
You get that back head headache.
A lot of residual sugar left in it. Yeah,
that's most mass production beers are going to face that whole issue with residual sugar, and anyone who's listening here, if you want to avoid a hangover, avoid drinks that have high yield sugar. If you do that, you're gonna be fine. Drink your whiskeys, drink your lagers, drink things that come through a little cleaner. And you might survive. Also, Liquid IV. Shout out to Liquid IV. I like those guys.
Do not have a sponsorship. Stop it.
I'm trying my best. We keep losing sponsors. I'm trying to bring one in. And on Fuck My Work Life podcast, if they hear me talk about it, maybe Liquid IV comes back and says, hey, that silky smooth voice needs to have Liquid IV in it. And I do. Put it down my throat hole.
There you go. Yeah. Well, we can't get ourselves sponsors, but if we get you one, I mean, I feel
we got contacted by Manscaped, so I feel like
everyone got
Liquid
contacted
IV
by Manscaped.
and Manscaped. I mean, what the fuck, man? That's a combo right there.
We got contacted, and then they immediately saw our numbers and was like, "Yeah, never mind."
Hey, I didn't say we got sponsored. I said we got contacted,
and that's what matters. But also, too, with Manscaped, they go ass to mouth without any issue.
That's right. You never go ass to mouth.
Sometimes it's okay to go ass to mouth. Ask Manscaped.
And I totally biffed it. Why don't you guys tell everyone about your podcast?
Oh, yeah, we have one of those. So we are we're a podcast that focuses on a bunch of different things. We do combat sports, we do horror movies and news, and we want to be the barroom chat that you want to be involved in. When you go to that nice dive bar and you see like a couple guys in the corner and they're just talking up a storm and everyone's getting involved in it. That's what we're going to bring to you guys. And when we talk about combat sports, we don't try to gatekeep it or anything. We just want to have fun with it. Don't take it seriously because we like pro wrestling. And if you take pro wrestling seriously, you're an asshole. So we don't. So we just bring you guys news that's fun and sometimes some serious stuff, but we don't try to take ourselves too seriously. And honestly, I just want to have fun. And that's what we do. And we bitch about cookies. That's it. But if you want to find us, we're at DecaneWTB on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, everything in between. And you can find us there. And we'd love to make you giggle.
Yeah, I know nothing about combat sports, but I love listening to you guys every week because you do just have such a good time and you guys are just so funny together. It's fun to listen to.
Thank you.
I'm a huge fan of combat sports. Huge fan of combat sports, but I don't really pro wrestling when I was a kid. So I've heard your podcast and I've heard you guys talking about like the like AEW and WWE, and you mention people and I'm like, I don't know those guys. That's not Jake the Snake. What about Hacksaw Jim Duggan? Like, who are they talking about?
Rick Rude was my dude.
Yeah, getting that fancy shit going. Like,
my favorite was the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh yeah, because he did a lot of coke. That's cool.
Yeah.
In all fairness, they all did.
I mean,
yeah.
And I was 10 at the time, so
you did coke.
Not the reason he was my favorite.
I watched Glow back in the 80s when that was on.
Yeah, there you go.
Glow's still going on right now, actually.
Is it really?
Here in Pittsburgh, if you turn on the CW, you can actually watch Glow at about 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's fun. It's fun to watch Glow.
Like the old Glow, or they're currently doing
brand new. It's all new talent. Yep.
Wow. Did the TV show revive it, or
it came back about 2 years ago?
I think it was from the Netflix series.
Yeah. So the Netflix series Glow came out, and that really sparked a lot of interest back into it. And the CW has money to spend. They're the 17th most watched network in the world. So as we found out through was it NWA when they screwed up there with the So they have a lot of money to spend, and they bought Glow. So it's a great product. It's like an hour and a half, and great women's wrestling. I mean, you see a lot of premier talent. A lot of people that you see now were actually started on Glow, which is pretty cool.
We'll see if we can find it. Do we have is there a CW app?
That's where we're leading. Is it on demand? Because 1 a.m. is not fucking
that's
happening.
true.
So if you,
That's true.
You can download the CW app, and they have like the library, and you can go back and check it out too. So it's there for you to consume, to binge. It's all there.
Nice. Yeah. But you watch what? You watch MMA and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what do you watch? Like, I used to watch a lot of Pride.
Oh yeah.
And then they were bought by the UFC, and I'm not a huge fan of the UFC. I feel like they're what you can watch. There's a BKFC. I love BKFC.
Oh, so do we.
Yeah, we're a big fan of that now.
I don't know all of the players in BKFC, but I know a lot of them are like,
all you need to know about BKFC is Platinum Mike Perry, baby. That's what you need to know.
Yeah,
the old knuckle cracker. That's what you need to know.
Yeah, he was a former UFC fighter.
Yeah,
but I mean, I was a big UFC guy. Probably up to about 4 years ago.
I would say, it fell off about that.
When they went to the ESPN Plus platform, I was like, no, I felt like I was already spending enough money, and that was just my tipping point.
Yeah, cost me $4,000 a year to be a UFC fan. Not doing that.
Well,
no.
I'll still watch the really big fights, but
that's really about it.
I have on the Fire Stick, I have the IPTV, and it's like $20 a month, and I get the Sunday NFL ticket, the NHL channel, all of that stuff, and all of the pay-per-views. So
is that legal?
Huh?
Is that legal?
I pay for it, so
that's all you need to know.
Fucking legal
money
to me.
exchanging hands.
It's legal for him to pay them to do whatever they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. It's legal to me.
And I am writing down IPTV.
It's legal to me. Damn it!
It's $20 a month. I get everything, and it is. I never really have buffering problems or anything like that. And I just watched the last UFC, Sean Strickland and Duplessis.
Yeah, Duplessis, baby.
You like him?
Oh, I do. Yeah, Sean Strickland can suck my dick. So let me tell you that.
We're gonna have to bleep a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
people love to hate Sean Strickland, and I don't feel either way about him. But I feel like he probably should have won that fight.
Oh yeah,
I know he got taken down.
Yeah,
5 times, but also for so many years, it was you have to beat the champion to take the championship.
Yeah, right.
And I feel like he didn't beat the championship, the champion. He just, when he needed to, he laid and prayed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's, and then you saw both of them after the fight. Like, Duplessis looked like he got hit by a couple trucks.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, Strickland, he's definitely a dick.
Yeah. Nicest way to say that.
But he's very honest about it. Like, he
knows he's a dick.
He doesn't fake that he's not a dick.
he leans into it. I would say the moment where I really lost Sean Strickland as someone I could back is the moment he went on a microphone and said that he doesn't believe in women's MMA.
Yeah.
When he said that, that's when I lost him. Just because here we love women's MMA. I think it's far more brutal and more calculated than men's MMA. And for him to say that it doesn't matter, I put this out to you, Sean Strickland. I know you listen to this fucking podcast. Holly Holmes sold more pay-per-views and more in-house tickets than you did in your two attempts to be in the main event card. Holly Holm, the preacher's daughter, sells more than Sean Strickland, and I'll ride that fucking unicorn across any rainbow that he wants to yell weird things at. So
yeah, baby.
Sean Strickland.
I also think it's a bit of an act. Like, to sell
of
tickets.
course, yeah.
You got to be the enemy. You got to be the heel.
What's like Colby Covington? Same
right,
thing, man.
Exactly.
Conor McGregor, same thing.
Oh, Conor.
That's exactly what I was going to say is Colby
Perfect.
Covington, because he's very close to Colby Covington. Colby Covington leans into the like major Trump supporter, like how big of a douche can I be when I have a fight coming up to get as many tickets sold as possible. And then when he doesn't have a fight coming up, you don't even fucking know he exists.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, but how much is that them and how much is it the UFC pushing them to be that?
Well, I think the prime example of that is Chael Sonnen, the true American gangster. You see that guy, he made a career out of attacking Wanderlei Silva. I mean, his promos against Wanderlei are some of the best promos. The whole like, you can't get too, I can't let you get too close to me.
I can't let you get close.
He's like, you're fighting in skinny jeans and flip flops, bro. Everyone's getting close to you. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. But it was kind of cool to see that the UFC allows some people to kind of take their characters to the next level. And I love Chael Sonnen. I know that he gets a lot of heat, but the dude talks shit on the stick better than most other people. He really got stuff stirred up and he sold tickets. And I love that, dude. And I think Sean Strickland and Colby Covington are like shitty carbon copies of Chael Sonnen. And I'll stand on that.
Everyone who tries to get the limelight in UFC now wants to be the next McGregor.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That is what, you know, they see how McGregor branched out from the UFC and made all of the money he's, 95% of the money he's made is outside of the UFC.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, 95% of it is the fucking Mayweather fight. Like,
right.
$100 million for that fight. Like, he didn't even make close to that in his whole career in the UFC.
But I'll go back to say it's okay. I'll say it's not just one fight. The pressers that led up to that fight, are classic.
Cool. Yeah.
They're beautiful. Just the way that McGregor was able to. The one thing he did that I thought was absolutely incredible is that he got so close to Mayweather that he actually touched his head and like wiped his fingers off of it in New York while he was wearing a fur coat with no shirt underneath. He's like, fuck the Mayweathers. He's he gets like 100,000 people in the
middle
crowd.
of the summer.
And like, what are you doing? And he gets everybody so hyped up. So like leading up to that fight, he had the opportunity to land on all these promos. And just because he has the fieriness inside of him to say the things that no one else is going to say, he went out there and did that. And if it wasn't for McGregor, that McGregor Mayweather fight would not have mattered. It would not have landed at all. But Conor McGregor taking over the promos during the New York, and where was it? LA was the other one, I think it was.
I think they had like three of them.
Yeah.
But at least New York and LA. I think they might add one in Vegas or in Texas.
Oh God, just attacking Mayweather for everything that he was and call him a fake champion boxer and just really ripping him apart. That made me come to the fight. I came to your house to watch that fight.
Yeah, we watched it here.
I had a brand new baby. I had a brand new baby girl. I sat her in between me and my wife, and we watched that thing. And she's just like trying to balance her head.
What are we doing here?
What are we doing?
I chose the wrong career.
You want to be a wrestler now?
Maybe I'll be a wrestler now.
You can do it.
Yeah.
I could ride up with some chicks.
Bare knuckle fighting.
There you go.
Go for it.
Just too bad Prize not around. You could butt bomb bitches, bro.
I don't know what that means.
Butt bomb is like when they're on the ground, you just jump up in the air and you land directly on their head with your ass.
Oh, okay. I can do that. I can do that. All right.
Butt bomb, motherfuckers.
Excellent.
Did you not think this was going to go this way?
No, I hoped it would. On that note, I don't know. You got some stories? I'm getting a little tipsy.
Yeah, give me 2 minutes.
Oh,
because I've already ran through all my beers.
Ooh, I will also take this opportunity to grab beer.
What did he bring over?
There's 2 icy light mangoes. There's 3 icy lights. Is that another fucking or is that the one you drank? Oh, and you brought a man. Oh, give me that. Yeah, baby. Triple. I'm gonna get fucked up. Oh my god.
What's the percentage?
11.
Oh shit!
It's his favorite beer.
It's
I've had a
favorite
4-pack in the
beer.
fridge for a while.
What is it? Mango?
Nope.
No, it's a coffee stout.
Triple shakes.
Oh.
So do you guys live together or just live close by?
They're
No,
Cool.
we're both,
they're hetero life partners.
yeah, we're hetero life partners.
Hetero life partners, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, but do you let the eyeliner run when you blow them though?
No. I stay classy as fuck. I'm Pete Wentz when it comes to this shit. I'm gonna make sure I blow them hard and keep myself together.
All right, I just
Hard to
just
concentrate.
checking.
No, we're both married, and Matt has 2 children.
Yeah.
I have no kids. So
I got.
we
2
record at my
videos.
place.
Yeah,
Okay.
Smart.
because live editing is a lot easier for me than doing remote.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
We do remote when we have to.
Well, we have to. Yeah, I've had COVID and shit like that.
A couple
times. I had COVID and a vasectomy and a couple.
I've never had COVID.
Had a vasectomy.
I've had a vasectomy.
Both recorded one day after our
We did.
Vasectomies?
Yeah, we both had them. We were like, next day, get on that fucking microphone.
It just
bitch.
so happened it was the day before we were
Yeah.
going to record. And you were like,
That's
you want to delay it? I was
hilarious.
like, nope, come over here.
Yeah, come right
I'll
now.
sit on an ice pack. It's fine.
Yeah, you had the frozen peas ready.
Absolutely, yeah. I watched the Steeler game, I think the day after I had mine done, and I was texting Adam. I was like, can we still record? I'm bored. Welcome back to Judge Jordan. You know who it is.
Whoa, Matt. This isn't an episode. This is our promo.
Well, what's the promo?
Just to tell everybody about our podcast, K with the Boys.
Oh, where you and I get together and talk about craft beer and combat sports and horror movies and whatever else is on our mind.
Yeah, from Buckle to Bell, we cover the best combat news in the biz.
Oh, yeah, we do that, don't we?
Yeah, every week.
Yeah, and you can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, and on YouTube. We're at KNWTB on all social media. So catch us out there and have a beer with us. Cheers.
We're still talking about nuts.
Yeah, we're still talking about that.
Yeah.
Still talking about Jay's nuts.
Yeah. I like Jay's nuts. That's what I came here for.
Yeah, it's not the first time I've heard that.
Daddy.
I'm just gonna cut right there and just come in with talking about Jay's nuts.
I mean more about the nuts, Jay. Let's.
Well,
Yeah. It wasn't that my vas deferens was too small, is that what my nut was too big. So
That's what
it
I'm
just
saying, man.
it just tangled up.
We're just 2 guys sitting on opposite coasts of the United States with huge ball syndrome. There's nothing we can do about it.
HBS, man.
Nuts are the same show.
It's a real thing.
It is a real
Do you
thing.
suffer from HBS?
And that's what I'm talking about. Huge ball syndrome. And if you stayed at Camp Lejeune, you can get into this civil lawsuit too, because mesothelioma is the only thing affecting us. Huge ball syndrome is a problem too.
It's my money, and I want it now.
I want it now.
Larry H. Parker
Yeah.
got me
Call Jacoby and
$2.1
Oh shit. Jay wins.
not where I thought this was gonna go, but this is great.
Okay.
All right.
So beer brewing? I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. So let's bring it back in. Oh yeah. Okay. So we have lots of stories. For the most part, the thing that we share a lot is brewing beer together. He brought me in on it during COVID. That was one of the biggest things that kind of saved me, because COVID was crazy. I was kind of locked in my own house trying to figure out how to not be insane. So he's like, "Hey man, I've been brewing beer, and why don't you come down and help me out?" And we've gotten some people that come around and ask us to brew beer for them. And the one thing I think that we tried to do that went horribly wrong We had somebody ask us to brew a seltzer, and it's the only time we tried it, and it just didn't go well.
Yeah. Probably the last time we'll try it. So I don't know how everybody does it, but at least at a homebrew scale, all seltzer is corn sugar put into hot water to make it dissolve, and then you throw it into a fermenter and put a clean fermenting yeast on it, and it comes out as the hard seltzer we all know and love. But on the day we did it, we had a good buddy over that was here for the first time that we all kind of like, we all knew each other, but like never hung out outside of work together.
Yeah, I would say yeah.
So, or outside of work functions. So came down here, we had 4 beers on tap. We had cans of beer in the fridge. We all got a little inebriated before we even started the process.
Yeah, sure. That's a nice way to put it.
So the biggest problem was when we went to pour the corn sugar, which is like a powder. It's like just a pure corn sugar, kind of like a hot chocolate mix. It's just powdered.
Okay. I was expecting like the Caro.
So what is it?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
like
it's not
pow-
like Caro syrup. It's just a very light,
just
fluffy
powder.
powder.
It's like a sack of flour that you cut.
Yeah.
And you just try to
It's almost like powdered sugar.
yeah, like powdered, like high fructose corn syrup, but
Yeah.
dehydrated kind of.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So it was me, right? I goofed up.
You did the first one,
Yeah.
and then I jumped in the second one. Like, you did it wrong, asshole.
So I opened up the first one and sprayed it all over the brew space. Like, however I cut it, I like squeezed it as I was cutting it, and it poofed.
Yeah.
And it covered everybody that was in the room.
Also, too, we should make mention that the brew space is probably like 100 square feet.
Yeah, it's very tight.
It's very tight.
Yeah.
And so whenever he poofed the bag of this powder
corn sugar
In the walk-in closet.
basically it covered everything where you couldn't see in front of your face.
Oh my God.
It
Yeah.
was bad.
Yeah.
So, but nonetheless, we proceeded and poured it in, and we're all covered in this powder, and got it all in there. And Matt opened his bag with less of a poof, and we got that in there. And it was, we were just giving it like 10 minutes to dissolve. We're like, well, that's enough time to go outside and have a beer. And as we're outside, it starts to rain, and we're drinking a beer, and we're like, whatever. It's raining, but it's 80 degrees outside. This is fine.
We're fine. We're good.
Not realizing we're covered in sugar. So
Yeah,
out of
sticky as
nowhere,
fuck.
we all turn into like sticky honey monsters.
Yeah.
Like we're both wearing black t-shirts at that time, like we are tonight. And like, you just see this streak of like sugar coming down our shirts and stuff. And like our hands start to get sticky.
Yeah.
And I mean, Matt was a super mess. He had to get in his car to go home.
Oh God.
And then, so all of that went wrong. The rest of the brew day went smoothly. But I drunkenly pitched the yeast at too high of a temperature and ruined the seltzer on top of all of it. So like we were all sticky messes, and then the seltzer never fermented correctly, and I ended up dumping it.
Can I tell you what I did?
And then I've never done a seltzer since.
Can I tell you what I did when I walked out of your house, by the way? I've never told you this before.
You just drank shirtless.
No. Well, I did eventually. So so I walk out of his house, and I'm like, I'm covered in whatever the fuck this is. How sticky is it? And I went Little Giants. I put my hands on my chest, and my shirt just like sticking. I'm like, oh shit, this is terrible. What the fuck am I doing? And I got stuck to my shirt. So I actually was able to take my shirt off from the middle and pulled it over my head. And I went home shirtless.
Yeah, it was almost like it ended up being stickier than honey. It was like the right amount of water on that amount of sugar to like just be terribly sticky.
It was like when you watch a cockroach go into one of those little hotels, just,
I was wearing a hat that day. I threw it away. I was like, there's no saving this. Yeah.
Well, that's the same thing. I was wearing a sweet Hanson shirt and I had to throw that thing bop to the trash, buddy.
I thought for sure you were going to say you walked out of his house and said, fuck this, and jumped in his pool.
Oh, I wish I had the pool going.
I did. Just clogged up his fucking filters and everything.
Actually, that might have been what I did after you left.
Play, yeah. Oh yeah, I was covered head to toe, and I remember getting home, and my wife was like, "What the hell happened to you?" I was like, "I don't want to talk about it." Just walking into the house, just like sad with my hands hanging next to my side.
Turned myself into a Sour Patch Kid.
I'm real fucking sour too. Don't talk to me.
We were brewing beer. We weren't filming porns. I promise, babe.
And she didn't believe that at all. Because I was coated like a power bottom. I was done, dude.
There was the one time I whipped a glove right past your head too.
Yeah.
What happened that time? Did I overflow the boil kettle?
Yeah. So you decided that we had a 14-gallon boil, and you decided to put 15 gallons in. Like that was my fucking fault. And you decided to grab like this mad Doc Brown scientist glove, and you whizzed it past my head.
What was it? It's my like high heat temperature glove that I can like touch the hot pots with and stuff.
Jesus Christ, you knock out a donkey with this thing.
I didn't throw it at you because I thought you messed it up. I knew I messed it up, and I just threw it, and I didn't know you were right behind me.
In 100 square feet.
Yeah.
I'm right there. I can see where I'm like looking past the camera. I can see where we were standing right there. There's no way you didn't know I was there. Here's the thing, buddy.
We really sound like we live together at this point.
I know. But the thing about it, like if you turned around, there's so much time for you to not throw the glove.
I didn't really turn. I mean, I was turning as I threw. It was like, fine. I mean,
Yeah.
You were throwing a glove like Brett Favre throws a ball.
If I wasn't brewing,
close your eyes and fucking.
I mean, if I wasn't brewing, I'd probably be the next Tom Brady. You know, like I just have that. I have that offensive awareness.
Really, a field vision of what I can do with this ball.
I can really general a team. You know,
The goat of brewing.
but yeah, it was a really high
Seltzer beer.
Yeah, it was a real high ABV stout. So like again, extra sticky time.
Yeah.
And the worst thing as any brewer is to boil over your kettle because like as soon as the liquid leaves the kettle and hits the sides, it scorches
It's
and
done.
like, solidifies
Yeah.
to the side of the
Yeah.
kettle. And I made a rookie mistake again, brewing with friends, drinking on a brew day. I don't drink on brew days if I'm by myself. And I don't really drink if I'm brewing with you anymore, but these were the early days. This was COVID. We were just enjoying
We were
company.
getting destroyed.
Yeah. So yeah, an amateur mistake to make. Yeah, and I got upset and just whipped my high temperature glove at a wall. I didn't know it was
A wall.
an inch from Matt's face. Though.
Yeah.
A wall named Matt. That's
Yeah.
It didn't hit you. It went
No.
right past your face, and I immediately apologized. I was like, whoa, so sorry.
I was gonna say I should say that Adam did like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. It was like a narcissist would do, you know? Whenever you're
Oh, were you there? I didn't
Oh.
see you.
you definitely American Psychoed the fuck out of me. You're like, that's what you deserve, but I'm really sorry about that.
Maybe.
I love you too. Don't worry.
Maybe.
Don't worry.
So how much do you like you said 14 gallons, is that how much you normally brew?
Yeah. So we fill the by the time it gets to the boil process, we have 14 gallons of liquid and we boil it down to like 12 and a half gallons. And then you move it to a fermenter, put the yeast on it, and fermentation starts from there. So yeah, almost every batch we're doing about 12 gallons of beer.
Yeah.
Which will get you like a little over probably about 60 bottles
Nice.
of
Y'all ever
your
make
standard
shine?
12-ounce bottles.
I want to learn how to brew. We have a friend who went
Oh
to
wait, that's super incorrect. It'll get you like 120 bottles.
I was ready to
Double
say,
that.
man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Y'all ever make shine?
So
Moonshine.
I have with a friend.
yeah, I was gonna say, if you want to hear
Off the record.
here's a funny story. I'll say it because
Oh, good. Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
attached to me at all.
That's not really a fuck our life part, but that's
it's a fuck his life.
It's a good fun.
Yeah. So we did have a friend for a while where he and his dad would brew moonshine down in a little suburb of Pittsburgh, and leading up to a major life event. I won't say what it is because it would really give him away, but there was a major life event that was going on for him, and he decided that he wanted to brew up a couple gallons of moonshine. And his dad was really linking it up. His dad was like Tickle from Moonshiners. Yeah.
yeah.
He had a sense of it. He knew what he was doing, except for this time because while he was in the middle of making cherry pie moonshine, he decided that he would like to see his garage set on fire because he was allowing his long drip. Because whenever you're distilling, you have a very skinny long pipe that leads from like kind of like a lead off to a boil coat. Yeah. And that is the most volatile pipe in the entire system. It can catch fire, and it's like a pipe bomb to an extent. It can be, and that's what it pretended to be. It pretended to be a pipe bomb
because you're making fucking gasoline, basically.
Yeah,
right.
Just edible gasoline.
Oh
the
my
best
God.
part about this is that he blew out half of his garage, and his dad was just like, I can fix that.
I think his dad literally said, "Whoops."
But I will tell you this though: at the event, we had gallons of moonshine, so he was able to bounce back pretty quickly, and he made a couple gallons of moonshine for us.
Yeah, it was a good wedding.
It was.
Since you're not going to say
I can cut that out if you want.
No, I can leave it in.
No,
Okay.
he's never talking to me again.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Fuck that guy.
All right.
He blew up a garage. Who cares?
He's not listening to us, so it's fine.
No, you need to understand language to do that. So.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you were trying to keep it a secret. It's like, come on, it's
I'm
definitely a
trying,
wedding.
my bad. Yeah, it's a wedding.
It's a redneck wedding.
It really is.
Oh God. Speaking of gasoline, my brothers used to make napalm in the garage.
Oh,
This is what I want to hear
that's
about.
just what gasoline and styrofoam, right?
Is that what it is?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, it was gasoline and styrofoam.
Okay,
I
so-
never Googled that.
I think that's the.
They got the anarchist cookbook. Like this was like
Yeah.
early mid
I think that's
'90s.
the-
Yeah.
That's the redneck way of making napalm, but I think napalm was more than that. It was
Well-
like,
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
for
was
sure.
like-
Yeah.
it was
When you're a
like
small kid in the
jelly.
suburbs, that's how you make
Yeah.
napalm.
I was already say, yeah. I
That's
don't-
what I can do to this anthill. You know?
Oh, they would like light all their old GI Joe toys on fire and shit.
Oh, yeah. That shit
It's
too.
insane.
So there's a comedian that talks about how he would make his GI Joes wrestle while he smoked cigarettes, and I was like, dude, me too. I did the same thing. I was like 14 years old, and I was playing with GI Joes, and I was like making them wrestle, and I remember being like, yeah, man, I think Shang Tsung's gonna go ahead and take the IC title. I was just it's the same fucking thing. And everyone's like making fun of him. Like, I did the same thing. I don't know why he's being made fun of so badly. Welcome to small town living.
Right?
You wrestling right there.
Ski wrestling.
Hey, I used to have the it was WWF at the time.
Yeah.
But all of the little action figures.
Yeah.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He had the.
I had this.
Two-by-four,
you know,
I had the same exact
push-
one. Yeah.
You push the lever on his back, and he had that 2x4, right? It was Hacksaw Jim Duggan, right?
Yeah.
That had
Oh,
the
yeah.
2x4.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And Jake the Snake had the snake. Man, I remember that shit.
I had the Jake the Snake one too. I had the Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I think I had a Macho Man.
I stole some kid's Hulk Hogan.
Man, you're a bad kid.
I was a bad
You're
kid.
a bad influence.
Shut up. Fuck you talking through, man.
So I got a good fuck my life story from living in DC but visiting up here
Ooh, I like that.
that you were
Yeah.
involved with.
Oh,
You were
yeah.
you were at the concert, right?
Yes. Yeah. Let's do that one. Yeah.
So, oh man, I don't know what year it was. I would guess it was 2009 or 2010.
I would say, yeah.
It was after Ozfest was the metal concert that was touring the country. They came up with a thing called Mayhem Fest, which was also a metal concert that just toured the country. And me and Matt hit every Ozfest together since
Yeah.
we met. Hit every Mayhem Fest since we met. So I was like, yeah, I'll drive up from DC and I'll go to the Pittsburgh concert with you. It'll be fun. It was me, him, a couple other of our friends. Tailgated. We drank moonshine in line for the porta potty, which probably wasn't a good idea.
Turtle.
Yeah, from a guy named Turtle.
Oh
It
God.
wasn't on Entourage. It was
No.
before Entourage, I think, even.
Well, so before you go even further than that, let me just say real quick that he tried to challenge us to eat the blueberries from.
Yeah, I had no problem with that.
Yeah, I ate a handful of them. I was like,
From
"You're
the
a bitch."
moonshine?
Yeah, so he had blueberry soaking in moonshine that he made. I was
Okay.
like, "You're a bitch,"
and
I ate a handful of them, and then
God.
I regretted everything.
Yeah.
In line, I was tripping.
Yeah.
Like,
So we got into the festival, and it was an all day festival. I think we entered the venue at like noon, and it went till 11 o'clock midnight.
Yeah.
It was the end of it, and there was a band on right at about, I would say it was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was like, I'm in my 20s.
What's that band's name?
It was a Mirror. This is my least favorite band of the festival. I don't know why I decided to go into the mosh pit, but I decided to go in the mosh pit, and you know, I'm just running around in there, bumping into people, and inevitably you fall down. So I fell down, and then a very large gentleman fell on top of my leg.
Oh.
I was like, "Ooh, I feel like I tweaked my ankle there." So I immediately go to you, I think, actually, and I was like, "Hey, man, I got to get out."
Can I just say
For a
real
second.
quick too that he fell down during a song called "R2 Deep Throat"?
Well, too deep throat. I was gonna leave that detail out. I didn't like the band.
Ask a girl how my dick tastes.
It's a very embarrassing band
It
to
really is.
fall to. But yeah, I fell. Thought I twisted my ankle. Matt helped me out of the pit. I sat in the lawn, and I stood on it for like most of the rest of the day.
Yeah, you did a great job.
But stayed till midnight, and by the end of the concert, I was like, "Ooh, this really hurts." So they golf carted me out to the car. I drove home.
It's a free ride.
Yeah,
Oh.
drove home because I sobered up through the concert and drove home. Well, drove to my parents' house in Pittsburgh. And woke up the next morning and I couldn't put my shoe, like my foot and ankle were so swollen I couldn't put my shoe on. Oh shoot. And I'm 4 hours from home. I was like, I guess I'll go to the Med Express and see what they have to say about it. Because I think it was a Saturday or a Sunday.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so I was off work. Went to the Med Express. I had a spiral fracture of my ankle
Holy shit.
from the guy
Oh.
falling on it.
Oh my God.
And, like,
That's not a
like,
regular fracture.
You should see your orthopedist right away. Where's your orthopedist? And I was like, in Arlington, Virginia. And they're like, oh, that's a trip. I was like, yeah, no shit.
That's a tough one.
I was like, well, what can you do for me here? We're like, well, we don't have anything to cast it. Where you can just put it. They put it in like an air splint
Oh
and
God.
sent it back to my mom's house.
They got the tongue depressors and
Yeah.
just taped
Well,
them around.
oh, and it was also very important for the story. It was my right leg.
Yeah.
Oh.
So to drive home for my gas and brake pedal, I've always driven with my right foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So come Sunday, I got to drive home and my right foot's in an air splint. So I threw my right leg over my center console of my car and drove 4 hours back to DC
Oh my
with my
God.
left foot, hitting the brake and gas as best as I could.
Holy shit.
And
How
went to
did
the
that go?
orthopedist on Tuesday to get a cast for like 6 weeks, and I was in a wheelchair. I was in a wheelchair for 4 weeks. I was like,
Holy
they're
shit.
like, how did you get here today? I was like, I drove.
Like, why'd you do that? My favorite thing.
So that was probably my biggest fuck my life thing, was driving back to DC with my left foot.
The best thing out of
Thank
all
goodness
this.
I had an automatic.
Well, yeah.
Oh, if I had
Yeah.
a manual transmission, I would have been fucked.
So Adam
Yeah.
came back up to hang out with me a couple weeks after that, and he's in a wheelchair.
Oh,
In a fucking wheelchair.
you know what that was for too?
Yeah.
It was my brother's wedding.
His brother's wedding.
Oh no.
So he's like, hey buddy, I'm up from DC. Let's hang out together. Let's go to this place. And it's a small town outside of Pittsburgh. It's a bar we'd always go to. And they had one of those like touch tunes thing. And I have a picture. I got to find it. One of our Jagoff friends that we don't talk to anymore pushed him up to the iTunes thing in the wheelchair. And he's like trying to like reach up and touch the wheelchair. It's funny now because you're okay. But back then it was so good.
You know, it was always okay. It was two really bad
It
nights.
was really
Oh
bad.
my God.
I give you a lot of props though, because you drove hundreds of miles back to where you're from to be sought then by a doctor who said, hey, don't drive when you're and you're like, I'm going to drive.
I gotta.
I'm fucking driving.
Yeah.
I'm going. But I will say this too. you got to the point when it came to my wedding, you had a cane.
Yeah, I was out of the wheelchair. Yeah, so him and my brother got married 2 months apart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this happened, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks before my brother's wedding.
Yeah.
And then I had to also be at his wedding. I was the best man in both weddings in a cast.
And a cane.
I mean, do you want to say what your maid of honor said to me, though, when I showed up with a cane?
Oh, she's like, is this what's really going to happen? No, I think
Is this really happening right now?
She said, so she asked me, like, who's in your party? And I'm explaining who's in my wedding party. And she goes, who's your best man? I pointed at Adam and she goes, oh, fuck.
So we did like the rehearsal ceremony, and then all went to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was the second run through for the rehearsal. Like I am walking the aisle with a cane. On your wedding day, I lost the cane.
You
But
did.
like for the rehearsal, I still had the cane. So I'm like walking with a cane, and like after this, she held off as best she could. But after the second walk down the aisle, she was like, "So is what you have curable?" I'm like,
I hope you made up some elaborate story.
You should have looked at her.
I was like,
You should have looked at her with one eye twitching and been like, I did this for your fucking freedom.
and it was like,
I fought in the big war. You kissed my ass.
I couldn't even be offended because I thought it was so funny. I was like, wait till Matt hears this. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's just a broken ankle. I'll probably be okay in a week or so.
One of my favorite parts, too, about my wedding is that even though you had a bum ankle and we ran out of beer, she looked at you. She goes, can you get a case of beer?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The same one? The same girl?
Can you even carry a case of beer?
The next morning, they were like looking for people to go get beer. And she's like, well, since you're not dying from this ailment, can you go pick up all the beer? Like, yeah, I can drive on my left foot. I got this.
I'd swing my leg right over and I'll just go ahead down the street.
I don't know if my brain would switch over to do that if I had to do that. That's just so
It was
weird.
purely out of necessity. And thank goodness it was like mostly highway driving. So it was like,
Yeah.
I just kept a good amount of space between me and the car ahead of me and took it slow.
So, speaking of weddings, I would say it's not like a fuck our lives thing, but a fuck someone else's lives thing. Like,
Did we fuck somebody else's life
we
up?
fucked someone else's life up real quick. So
Excellent.
we were both in a wedding together. One of our buddies got married down in Virginia, and we decided, we're just not going to take it seriously. So I don't know why he came to us and he trusted us. I guess we were wearing suits. We look trustworthy, but he's like, hey, real quick, this crate of champagne got delivered and we can't find it. So if you find it, don't let anybody have any. Let it go. Just we'll return it. We'll get money. And we're like, that's fine. We go through the ceremony.
Just tell the kitchen and they'll return it.
Yeah, just return it. So we go through the ceremony. We're both in the wedding. We go through the ceremony. We go through the reception. And we're at this this beautiful mansion house down in Virginia. And the owner comes to us and goes, hey, it's 10:30. I'm done. The bar is yours. You guys just do whatever you want to do. Drink the place dry. You've already paid for everything. Go do what you want to do. So, of course, me and fucking Stumblefoot over here, we decided to go ahead and...
My foot was fine by that wedding.
Sure it was. So then we decided to go...
Sure it was.
Yeah. We were walking through, let's go explore. Let's go find shit. And as we're walking through the kitchen, this guy, he's like, hey, what's this? And he moves like a dish rag and he finds a crate of
case
champagne.
of champagne, yeah.
Under a dish rag?
Yeah, so they tried to hide it.
It was next to the oven where the pots and pans were. Yeah, there was just a cardboard box and that's what was in it.
You could tell they were trying to hide it from the bride and groom so they could I don't know, maybe use it for the next thing or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So we found it. And in our heads, we're going he told us if we find it, we need to make sure no one has it.
So they can return it?
And we both instantly were like, fuck that. So,
we're bartenders now.
We're bartenders. And we were yelling at people what do you want? What do you want? What do you So we're like, fuck it, we're pouring champagne. So we each took 2 bottles apiece and we walked out with it. And people were like, oh, champagne. We had all 4 bottles uncorked. And we decided that the Boston Red Sox had won the
we
World.
just won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. And we shook those motherfuckers up and painted. We would just paint every single person we saw. Like, do you want champagne? We went through a crate of champagne, and nothing beat the next day where they saw all the empty bottles of champagne. Like, who found the champagne? We're like, we don't fucking know.
Oh no, man.
Oh, no, it must have went fast though.
So now we're telling it on the podcast. I hope he doesn't listen to this shit. Hey, buddy, we're the reason why you couldn't return all those bottles of Martini Rossi. Yeah. Just we painted the sides of buildings, people, cars, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And we would just scream different like sports teams, like the Boston Red Sox, the Pittsburgh Penguins, like whatever. It's just spray painted everything with those.
It was the most fun I ever had.
It was
a whole case of free champagne. Can't ask for anything better.
Gone, dude. I think I drank 0% of the champagne too. I just fucking sprayed it everywhere. But he should have known though, because the night before,
I was just gonna bring this.
Yeah,
up.
he tells us, he's like, I have one bottle of Jack Daniels for the wedding party.
So we were in our early 20s. So the leader of Jack Daniels was probably the best liquor at the wedding.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was for the wedding party only. And we're like, noted, we got that.
Mm-hmm.
We know we can ask for it. I don't know if there was a code word or if we just, I think that night we were just pouring ourselves and it was hidden.
Like yeah. So it's the night before anything pops off, the ceremony, anything. And Bumblefoot over here is like, hey, I'm gonna go with that.
My foot was fine.
Again, my foot was healed.
Yeah. Arguable.
It was like a couple months after your wedding, so it was good. You guys all got married the same year, by the way.
Yeah, well, listen,
weird.
DJ Bumblebee, I'm just letting you know right now. So we found the bottle of Jack Daniels, and it was like a hefty bottle. Like,
it was a liter. It was like a handle of Jack, yeah.
And we're who we are, so we decided to sit poolside and drink the entire bottle of Jack Daniels
with like two other friends.
Yeah.
That was not the group.
Yeah. But we got so drunk off the bottle of Jack Daniels, we threw the empty bottle in the pool and then started to throw the chairs around the pool into the pool.
Oh no.
And we just said that there's
you threw the bottle of Jack in the pool.
I did. And then we were like, there's staff. Like,
there's people who
they gotta earn their living here.
It was bad.
They'll get in there. And I was like, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, you knew we did that and you still trust us with a whole crate of champagne. That's your problem.
That was because I think we finished the bottle of Jack and I was like, it'd be really funny to throw this in the pool right now. And you literally said, yep, and you threw it. There we go.
Yep. And then we just started throwing shit in the pool.
Oh my God.
Not my best moment, but
But your most honest moment.
My most honest moment, yes. In my life, I've had a lot of moments, and that was the one that I told the truth the most.
You were babies, though. You were in your 20s.
We were. That was our early 20s. We all got married in our early 20s.
Yeah, we were assholes.
Yeah. I think everyone in their 20s is.
I mean,
yeah. No holds barred, no mercy.
For sure.
Yeah. And look at us now. We're the only two standing.
Cheers to that.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers to that.
Got my Coors Light now.
I was going to say, I saw you crack a can. I was going to ask you what you had there.
Coors Light.
Coors Light's flown. That's a good light beer.
It is a good light beer.
That's solid.
If the mountains are blue, you know it's good.
And that too.
That's right.
They put a lot of it in. If the
mountains are blue, you know it's true. God damn it. You can't even say it right.
America.
Can you drink anything cleaner?
No, you can't. Nope. The Rocky
America. Fuck yeah.
I mean, I believe Coors Light would fall into the German purity laws.
It would.
They don't put
for
anything.
Sure, yeah.
Well, they might put a little corn in there. Right?
There's a little touch of corn in there.
Yeah, I don't know what else I got. I did try to keg a beer 2 a.m. after the podcast drunk one night. That turned out bad.
Oh God!
You painted the ceiling.
Yeah,
you're
I painted the whole room. So me and Matt did the podcast on a Friday night, and then we had a guest on. It was the night Justin was here.
Oh yeah.
So it was a good friend that, like, lives about an hour outside, an hour away from where I'm at.
Shout
so
out
like
to Yellow Bridge Brewing here in Pittsburgh.
I don't know if they want to shout it out.
Yeah, shout out to Yellow Bridge.
Shout it out, baby.
YELL.
They're getting fucking shouted out in there.
So the podcast ended and we hung out and drank for a couple more hours. And there was a beer I had that was fully fermented, ready to go. And I was really excited to get into kegs for the weekend. So I was like, it's 1:30 in the morning, but I can keg a beer in like 2 hours. This will be easy. So to keg it, you pressurize the fermenter with CO2. So the liquid escapes that vessel pretty quickly. Like you're putting like 25 pounds of pressure on the top of it, so it shoots out the bottom quick into your keg. The science of it is so no oxygen hits it and it keeps it fresh. So it was fine. I did it. I filled 2 kegs. Everything was ready. It's time to clean up. And I was like, you know what? I want a little bit of a sample of this just to see how it turned out before it conditions in the kegs and carbonates, see if it's tasting right. But I forgot to depressurize the tank. So it shot out of there at 15 pounds of pressure all over the room we're in now. And it wasn't Coors Light. It wasn't any sort of light lager. It was a dark beer. So it stained. It didn't stain, but it covered. You could see where it hit. And it hit every wall, a little bit of the ceiling, like all of my other brew equipment. And it's like 3 a.m. And I was just like,
I ain't go to sleep.
and I literally just depressurized the tank, put it in the brew room, and I was like, I'll worry about this in the morning. Like, so I had to clean it all up the next day.
The text message was
that was worse.
epic.
That was worse than the sugar day. That was worse than the
That was a
seltzer
lot.
day.
Yeah.
Because I was cleaning that up for like probably for 2-3 weeks.
It was a lot.
God.
I would just find a new
finding,
spot
yeah.
of where it's
Does
right.
Hey, babe, I'm gonna repaint the room in there.
Yeah.
Why? Look,
Reasons?
just like you change your hair, I want to change the color of the room.
So in all
all
fairness,
good.
there were 2 white doors down here that even after I wiped them down were stained. So I repainted the doors. It was like, I am not admitting to what happened there.
Yeah.
It was bad.
The best part is the text message I received from you. It was just like, dude, ... I fucked up. And then I just got all the pictures.
Good night.
And you were like, how are the kegs? I was like, they were perfect.
Yeah.
But then I screwed up afterward. You're like, well, at least you're professional about it.
Yeah. I mean, you got the kegs done, right? And you're like, yeah, I got the kegs done. I was like, what else happened? And he started sending me pictures of like the ceiling and the floor.
Oh, God.
I was like, oh my God, what is happening over there?
So was it just one keg that kind of blew off? Like, how many kegs did you do?
No, so I got 10 gallons of beer out of the fermenter.
Okay.
And then there's always like maybe a gallon of beer left that's drinkable. Like, that's drinkable,
Yeah.
but it's not carbed.
Yeah.
It's cold, but it's not carbonated. But like, I always just like to try it and like take a picture of it for the color and all of that. So I went to like pour myself a glass of that, and I usually depressurize before I do that.
Yeah.
And I forgot to so it was pushing out at 15 pounds of pressure instead of just gravity. And it just it covered me. Like my shoes were ruined. Most of the walls were covered. Like I threw my shoes away because my shoes were real bad. My shoes and socks I just threw away. Yeah. Because they were just covered, sticky mess, and it was black. It was like black beer. Like it was.
That's the reason
God.
too why you bought wader boots. You have.
I got new waiter boots for Christmas, so that won't matter anymore.
You should have sent Matt a picture of you with all the shit all over your face,
I fucked up.
holding the beer, going. I mean, it's good.
Yeah. It's pretty good. It's just shit all over my face.
It tastes pretty fucking good.
Because you get that force. Like it's not only the dark beer coming out, but it's all the settled yeast sediment, which is it's like wet sand, basically, just shooting everywhere.
And
it was awful.
And honestly, sending that picture, I can only get so hard. I don't know if you need to
any further.
Yeah, it's like if you describe it, like, oh no way.
I don't more brewers do spicy beers.
So when you say spicy beers, what kind of spicy beers are you talking about? You talking about like spicy pepper beers or spicy like winter beers?
No, spicy
Yeah,
like pepper beers, like jalapeno beers.
Let me just say this right now.
Okay.
I'm going to throw this out there. We have one of the best. Shut the fuck up.
Wrong.
We have one of the best pepper beers in Pittsburgh. I'm going to say that right now.
Maybe.
The Poblano IPA is spot on.
Pretty good.
Now, the reason too why it's so good is because of your secret, where Adam takes meticulous care of the pepper that you use.
Don't you give my.
Oh, so this is a bash brew beer.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I do agree with you. I think there should be more pepper beers in the market.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, because people I talk to, it seems like there's a demand, but I do see there's a couple of breweries in Pittsburgh that do them, and they just seem to sit for a while. I don't know. But we've done a couple. So one is this Poblano one Matt's talking about. We do a Poblano Pale Ale.
So good. But you've brewed beers with Penn Brewery, and one of those was the Poblano IPA.
Right.
So you went in and he made the Poblano IPA with one of the oldest microbreweries in all of Pennsylvania. It's Penn Brewery.
Keep talking me up.
And I'm going to talk about all day. So this formula that he had, they were able to expand it to a couple barrel system. It's like one of their smaller systems, and they put it on for him. And it went on tap, and they huge like push for everybody. So he and I end up going to the first night that it gets tapped, and he and I are sitting next to each other, and we're drinking it, and we're kind of giving some notes about it, because you're going from a 14-gallon system to a 3-barrel system, which is a pretty big expansion on what we were doing. And I'm really loving the space in between the bitterness of the IPA and the pepper. And I'm kind of like giving some tasting notes, and he's kind of giving me tasting notes back. And there's a woman who's like down a couple of seats from us, and she can hear us talking about it. And we're both wearing Bash Brew gear, like hoodies and t-shirts and stuff. Mm-hmm. She comes to us and she says, did you guys make this beer? And I was like, oh, well, he did. This is his formula. This is his recipe. And he worked with the staff here at Penn Brew, and he made this beer. And she's like, I don't like peppers.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, so why'd you
order that beer?
So you ordered a beer made out of peppers. Okay. And you don't like peppers, but you ordered the beer with peppers in it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She specifically said, why'd you make this? I don't like peppers.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, I'm sorry we didn't consult you first.
You're not our target demographic, I would say.
Yeah.
But then like, here's the problem with me is that I think everybody's having fun. And I think she's joking with us. And I was like, well, we made it with cocaine. just like fucking around, thinking like, I'll get her to laugh. And she goes, no, I don't like peppers. And I was instantly like, why the fuck would you order a beer with peppers in it? I went from fun to why. And I was like, you're making a bad decision. And then you're coming to us saying you don't like what we did because you don't like peppers.
But it's the flip side of just commercial brewing, because like on the flip side of that, there's people that liked pepper beer, and like we had a couple friends that were like, oh, I went and got a growler every weekend until it ran out. Yeah.
And that's the
but
thing.
But if you don't like peppers in general,
but that's
don't order the beer with peppers in it.
Well, guess what, honey? I'm sorry, but we didn't make this for you.
That one's not for you.
Yeah. We also make other beers. And that's the thing too. I tried, after trying to like entice her a little bit about the beer that we made, I was like, we make other beers. What's the flavor that you like? And she's like, I don't know.
I don't like beer.
I don't really like beer. I was like, I like that for you.
Do you have a beer that tastes like wine? Because I like wine.
And I was like, well, we don't make wine. So we make all these other beers. We make all these, and you could have said, we make exactly what you want. And she would say, not good enough.
Yeah.
It was a person who decided to choose violence as soon as she walked out of the house. And she just so happened to find the one guy who was like making the beer.
Yeah.
and decided to bring that problem to his doorstep.
Oh, and it was just so it was the timing couldn't have been more perfect for like just like a good joke going forward. Because like they brewed the beer, they released the beer. There was a release event. Matt couldn't make it. He had obligations with his family. So I was like, that's no problem, dude. Like, we'll record the podcast. I'll go down with you. It's 10 minutes from where I live. So I was like, if you're okay, we'll just record the podcast early and we'll go down and get a pint. So we're just going down on a random weeknight. And that's when all of this happened. So we're all there enjoying it. Matt's trying it for the first time, saying, oh, they did a really good job. Like, you guys really replicated it well. And this lady comes up and was like, oh my goodness, did you brew it? I was like, yeah. And she's like, why would you put peppers in a beer? It's terrible.
Cool. Thanks.
Reality check.
Do you make grape flavored beer? Because I like grape flavored.
I do that too.
Beer.
I was waiting for
just not that day.
I was tossing everything. I was like, we make at the time too. We just started. We're making lagers, we're making cream ales, we're making IPAs, we're making.
But literally on tap right now, we have 2 beers that kind of taste like wines.
Yeah,
and because I do them for the holidays. Yeah,
and it was just like now. I was like, okay, why'd you come here? Why'd you show up and try to just? Oh, great. Hey, honey.
She was a great time.
Hey, honey.
You were more offended by her than I was.
So mad because in my brain, this is what I heard. She turned to her significant other and went, honey, today I'm going to go crush this kid's fucking dreams. Aww. And I can't wait to get down there and do it. And she made fucking eye contact with you. And she's like,
she did know I was going to be there.
Did you know that I don't like your beer? It's so much fun that I don't like it. I fucking hate peppers. Fuck you.
Hey, she didn't break my leg and make me drive for
it. She might as well have. You broke my heart.
Oh.
She broke your heart and made you drive 40 minutes.
She did. Yeah. But you know what? I drove those 40 minutes on 6 fucking pints of fucking Poblano.
I can't believe you remembered that.
I do, because I took it personally. Like Michael Jordan. Yep.
It's just the audacity of people. Like, why would you assume that everything's made for you?
Right.
Like, fuck off.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe she didn't know what was the name of the beer. Was Poblano in the?
It's in the name.
So maybe she doesn't know what a Poblano is. Maybe she was like,
she just discovered that day what a Poblano.
Oh, a Poblano. That sounds Mexican. Maybe it tastes like fajitas.
A margarita.
Or maybe it tastes like fajitas. Yeah, maybe this tastes like fajitas and
fajita beer.
Fajitas.
In all fairness, it was in Spanish, so it was called Tortuga en Fuego, which is turtle on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was named after our turtle that we have, but
it had a fucking pepper on it.
But the logo had a pepper on it, and then the description of the beer was it is a pale ale brewed with poblano peppers.
So
I don't read.
So, I mean, she might not have read the whole thing.
I don't read.
She might have just been like, Fuego, that sounds fun.
I like Fuego.
Wait, what is
Fuego?
Isn't it like Fundado? I like cheese. Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
I didn't.
But it's just like,
I hold on to that every fucking day.
We also had like 2 people come up to us and be like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. We had like really good feedback because she's like, I'm gonna ruin this real quick.
You're looking a little too high up there. No, we're gonna fucking drop you down a couple pegs.
Let me fucking fix that real quick.
Let me humble you right now.
She did too. I felt a certain kind of way.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on and sharing your stories with us. Why don't you go ahead and tell everyone where they can find Decaying with the Boys?
So if you want to know what's going on with my my partner here, Adam, down in the Brew Lab, it's @bash_brew on all social media. It's Facebook, Instagram, X. If you want to go down here with the boys in Jojatorium, we are @DecayingWTB on all social media. It's Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, and everything in between. Start with social, end with media. Put in @DecayingWTB. You're going to find us. Now, if you really want to support us, you go on our YouTube, you hit that bell, you hit that subscribe, and you go ahead and do that, and you help us out more than anything else. We love you guys. Thank you so much for Fuck My Work Life and Fuck My Whole Life podcast for having us on. And we look forward to coming back on with you guys in the future. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
And we will talk to you later. Bye, fuckers.
Bye, fuckers.
Bye, fuckers.
Thank you for listening to the Fuck My Whole Life podcast. If you have a story to share, send it our way to fmwlpod@gmail.com or leave a voicemail at 310-818-3273. For more fun content, check out our socials at fmwlpod and join our Discord community to chat with us and your fellow fuckers. All links can be found in the show notes. Until next time, bye, fuckers. He won't say he loves you?
He won't say it back. He never.
Oh, come on, Adam.
You're cool, dude.